Stream T. 1, 2. Okay. I've done the grinding to the tune of average 10 party levels or something. Oops. Close that. And stocked up on items and fine-tuned setup in a variety of ways. And we're going to do Infinity, which hopefully isn't going to take forever. See how much damage we're doing to these guys now. Still not as much as I would like. I can kill one in a turn, which I don't think I could when I first came here. And I'm taking a lot less damage, which is good. In fact, I think taking less damage is probably the crucial point. Oh yeah, I was intending to save state like mad all through this level. I should do that. Okay. And I should keep leveling up fairly quickly if these enemies are all in the same ballpark for XP, because they're also in the same ballpark as the Monster Island location where I've been leveling like mad. Oh, that's about half as much XP as the other encounter. Maybe not then. Still. Oop. SNES 9X will happily read controller inputs while it's not the active window, but not keyboard. This isn't a perfectly optimal setup. It's reasonably robust, but I haven't got the best weapon for Ryu, for example. It was the best that could be done without absurd amounts of effort, including fishing. And the reason for save stating as much as I'm going to, assuming I get into the habit of it and don't keep forgetting between encounters, is that I don't want to have to lose my shaman buffs at any point, and make sure I carry those all the way through. Because they're really good, and I've managed to find a setup that puts all 6 shaman on well-matched characters. It's probably not the most powerful matchup because I don't have Dragon Aspara, but I have personal reasons for wanting to keep her as is. Oh, Tuskies. I love that they're called Big Hand. I don't love that they have combo attack, which is just the most bullshit enemy power in the game. Although I have been using basically the equivalent of that in Lost Odyssey to make the game easier. because combo in Lost Odyssey is really good. Good grief. Rude. I should probably be using Aspara as my healer out of battle, because I don't think she has I might be in trouble here. I am in trouble. Please dodge. Nope. It's alright, Ryu can die. Right, so I want to be careful with those. Forgot about that. This is a bit more reasonable. 2 of them is a bit much. I do realise that I very much should have lunged in a quick save before that last battle. Knock it off with the combo attacks! Don't do it. Oh good. There are lots of enemies that cast death. Pretty much any time they cast death on anyone but Ryu, that's going to be a reset to most recent save state. There is a chest on the other side of this room that I'm in at the moment, but I'm not going for it because I've grabbed it before and I think it's a Sten item. Welp. It's always nice when Ryu gets his turn anyway. Counter-attack is good. Don't do this again. I'm really not kidding when I say I'm going to save every battle. So this encounter is worth about 3,000 XP per character, which sounds like a lot, but it's important to remember that a level at the moment is, most of the characters, between 80 and 130,000, so it takes a lot of encounters to get that level up. Including that one. Calva Rider. Surely that should be Caval Rider. Unless there's some kind of attempt to associate them with cavalry, I suppose. Please note that for a very long time I was convinced that whoa, okay, that's rad. Every reference I saw to cavalry was actually a misspelled cavalry. Uh-oh. That's mean. Actually, you should attack, and you should cast Vitalize. I think when all four characters are getting most of the benefit from it, Vitalize is as potent as a spell gets, a heal spell gets, resource efficient. There's a lot of stuff in this dungeon that you can only get with Sten. What have we here? So these things can heal. That doesn't bode well. Ah, so they have about 5 HP total. I don't know what the property is that some enemies have where they have really low HP and basically are only affected by number of attacks, but it's really annoying. I needed that death blow on the other one. Okay. Convenient critical on the counterattack. as part of the grinding, I did have to... oh god, choice of paths. Just what I needed. I did have to at one point reduce Aspara's AP to 0 because there's a way to get some powerful optional spells where a character will only teach you if you have AP 0. And it took a long time to inflict that much depletion. I need to use an item. That's a slight oversight on having stocked up my inventory so thoroughly. I already have Shining Helms. God damn it. Well, actually I should discard that so I've still got the item slot. I think this is definitely going to be the easy encounter for now. Although, no! Rip. I missed. Still, fine reminder. Keep ticking those save states. Now, when we were starting this game, Leroy did warn me that there were a few long dungeons. And if there are a few long dungeons, then the longest dungeons in this game aren't terribly long. Unless this is significantly longer than the rest of them, which it might be. But I mean, we've been in here for 15 plus minutes now. And we've only done a room and a half. The reason we've only done a room and a half is that the first room was designed to maximise your path through a really tiny space. And thus give you lots of encounters. But this game has done a pretty good job of making its spaces feel larger than the, if you like, the canonical measurement in terms of tile count multiplied by whatever scale we assign to the tiles. Purely in virtue of the number of encounters you fight. And it could be annoying, but actually the encounters are pretty satisfying, generally. If we get into a situation later in this session where I'm having a character deathed every encounter, that might change, but hopefully it won't happen. Oh, these mammoths are really annoying. I'd better heal Ryu. Apparently Devon will be joining us shortly. Why do you have so much health? Stupid mammoth thing. Whoops. I suspect I'm not going to go too far out my way for chests, but I don't mind going the odd little detour. Oh, 2 in a row. Well, we know what to do here. Oh, nice. Numbers on my side there. Just quickly doing the maths on who's going to level up next. It's about 30,000 XP before anyone will. So, 10 encounters. I think on turn 2 in those fights I want to be a bit more careful about how I distribute my damage, because I can probably maybe shorten the fight a bit. I can probably guarantee that the fight will end on turn 3. It's not really guaranteed. Might be able to save taking 1 attack. Power food. What does that do? I think that's a permanent increase, so we might as well just use it. Oh god, this on a turn where I didn't save after the combat. Dang it. Somewhere down here, there it is.
Greetings.
Good evening, how you doing?
Alright. I managed to burn through the entirety of the rest of Breath of Fire 2 last night.
Cool. How long's the final dungeon? I mean, I know
enough to be a pain.
I know it's in two parts, but like the dungeons in this haven't been that long.
The problem is they're packed with random encounters.
Yeah.
So, like, you take 3 steps, and it's just like, oh, another one.
Yep, I have noticed this. Particularly these friggin' Yeti dudes. Yeti mammoth, whatever they.
The big hands.
Yeah.
They're weak to death. So. That's why I was really glad I fished up that merchant that sells death rings that you can make anyone cast death with infinitely.
Yeah. Ugh. Still, I don't mind a slugging match.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I think it was a bit more over-leveled than you even, because, like, once you get to the midway point, there's a free inn, but also, if you go to the second half of the dungeon and use exit, it exits you to that midway point, and if you go to the first half of the dungeon, which is just like a doorway away, and use exit, it teleports you out to the world map. So
that's pretty good.
Basically, I did a bunch of grinding, then went and refused everyone, and did a trek back down, and because I'm a cheap fool, I used the 2x experience and Zenny patch for my grinding, because I was like, okay, this is a foregone conclusion, I'm just gonna save myself some time. and that meant, like, everyone hit around level 48, and Ryu hit like level 51 by the bottom of the dungeon once I was done grinding up a bit in there, because the experience in here is better than Monster Island, which Leroy was nice to point out. No, like, the lower levels especially.
Right, okay. I mean, top levels,
and also there's free healing.
Yeah. Well, you can park Township, and then there's free healing on Monster Island too.
I mean, there's like a one-button healing spring in the bottom, like the first room at the bottom.
Yeah,
and also, oh my god, the end of the dungeon, it's just like, okay, the guide was like, okay, here's a teleporter, step on the teleporter, do not go to the room north of the teleporter unless you want to end the game right now. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's like, go get all this free, really good shit for Ryu. And it's just like, okay, I'll take this armor even though I have a better sword. And also, there's a healing spring and a save point in that little area between the final dungeon and the second to last boss. And then between the second to last boss and the final boss, there is a room that has encounters but also has a save and healing spring. So,
well, if I'm feeling at all tight for levels, I might use that. But honestly, I think I'm fine. Like, my average party level is now, I think, 48.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I think it was 47 3/4 when I came in, and I've already gained 1 level.
Yeah, you're gonna be pretty solid. My final party lineup ended up being Ryu, Rand, Nina, and Aspera
Yeah, that's a good setup.
in their little rodent form for Rand, and then Fury Queen form for Nina, and Vine Dragon form for Aspera.
Yeah.
Really good.
I should have Aspara in dragon form from a kind of stat point of view, but like I want the cute witch. I did get her the missile spell, which for some reason
nice.
in this is Sirocco. Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, its lower tier version is Simoon, or Simoon.
Simoon, right. Yeah, I suppose
What
actually
what does Sirocco mean? It is a Mediterranean wind that comes from the Sahara and can reach hurricane speeds in North Africa and Southern Europe.
Right, okay.
That is Sirocco.
That's fair.
So, it's literally an atmospheric shift.
I think my brain immediately jumps to like Rococo or something, which is slightly different. Whoops. Can't carry more than that.
The problem with grinding at Monster Island is I brought in like way too many fucking restoratives and vitalizers, and they don't stack.
Oh god.
So I was just having
my
to
inventory
burn or toss them.
Yeah.
Oh.
My inventory at the moment is just full. Like I stocked up on stackable items, and then just filled every remaining slot with restoratives and vitalizers. So now I've got no room for when I pick up loot.
Yeah. Also, there is a town, like, the midpoint is a town, and you can buy ammonias there. And
That's
I
good to
had
know.
well over 500,000 Zendi by the end.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I've got about 300,000 in the bank, I think. Alright. All the equipment that's in here I can buy from shops at Township. So.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Beretta.
Uh-huh.
She's got the fucking hookup.
Mm-hmm.
And only if you get her as soon as possible, because if you miss any of the, like, if she's not in your town for any of the flags that will upgrade her stock.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
know that.
she has stages that get upgraded.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm still pissed that I got the wrong carpenter, so I can't stock up on wisdom fruits instead of seeds. But
And you got this. Did you get the Othello one?
yeah,
I got that one too, because I wanted to get the one so I had an in-game timer. But, like, the guide said, oh, he's in the leftmost house, and that's not true.
right, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I just put an estimate of, like, 40 hours down. Because, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a thing on how long to beat, but in estimates.
I finished Lost Odyssey.
I saw that. What's your? Is there a general wrap-up video that I can watch with your thoughts on it, or would you like to summarize them now?
I mean, I can summarize that. I did a kind of impromptu video essay over the credits, which is basically a video on its own.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Like,
Video
it's
final.
10-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Basically, it's two different like styles of JRPG awkwardly fitted together, and it's 3 different plots awkwardly fitted together, and it doesn't really deliver on any of them. Like, there's stuff in it that's like FF5, where you've got a skill system and you fit all these different skills together into powerful combinations. That stuff's really solid and really works when it gives you the space for it, which it often doesn't because all the bosses are gimmicky. And mostly you're just like, well, what do I do to do the gimmick for this boss? And like, I haven't got a problem with bosses that are like that. I mean, fundamentally, that's the style that FF13 uses. Every boss has a specific thing. But that's because FF13's got this really focused, tight design. And Lost Odyssey wants to have that, but it also wants to have like random encounters and emergent gameplay and stuff. And it just don't quite fit together.
So it's messy, like everyone's favorite JRPGs forever.
Yeah, it's messy. Like, the comment I made in that video, and that I think will be my epitaph for the game, it feels like a game that's ashamed of itself. Like, you know, it feels like a game that is very, very aware of the fact that it is a JRPG coming out in 2007-8 for the Xbox 360, and therefore mostly going to be played by American bro gamers who think JRPGs are for girls. And so it feels like it kind of covers up all the actual JRPG stuff with this awkward comedy that never works, and gimmicky bosses and occasional bursts of time pressure and stuff, rather than just sticking to its guns.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like 2006 era not Tales JRPGs.
Yeah. But I mean, it's going to be a really good example for what Travel Notes is about. It's a perfect example of that. And it's not Eternal Sonata. Like,
always a plus.
Its ultimate message isn't young women should commit suicide for the sake of love because that will save the world. Which, it's a step up. It's got the least, genuinely, it's got the least convincing romance subplot of any video game I have ever played. In that, like, Jansen, the male character of the couple, is, like, he's the worst kind of, like, the Raven Zelos archetype, but without any of the humour or levity, because Lost Odyssey is not a game that knows how to tell a joke. It's a bit like the humour in Lost Odyssey feels a bit like the kind of over-the-top mecha stuff in Xenogears. Just completely fails to deliver, completely fails to land. I think it's got great characters, but it doesn't do anything with them because it's trying to do too many things with them, so none of the things actually gel.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
We'll see how my situation with owning a 360 goes in the next month.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and get the Mistwalker games ASAP. Just because those are the big two games that I missed when I did own a 360 and wanted more JRPGs.
Yeah. I don't know. Blue Dragon is
I would have spent my money.
Sorry?
I would have spent my money on those over Dragon Age Origins if I had the knowledge. But
yeah, Blue Dragon is definitely the better of the two games on pretty much every count.
Well, you know what they say about JRPGs, it's always the older ones that are better, and there's no exception to this rule.
Oh my god, Devon.
It's all downhill from the origin of time. AKA Chrono Trigger.
Isn't that game that's a bit like I Am Setsuna?
Oh my god, the discourse is fucked.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try and do the stream for Nier for Dead Runner Live. I'm gonna stick to it this time instead of giving up like I did on Kingdom Hearts 2 because just like Kingdom Hearts 2 is something I just want to play, and having to play it for people is. But I am definitely going to get the final ending. I am definitely naming the protagonist JRPGs.
Okay. I mean, I'm planning to stream Nier. I think I've said I probably don't want to have voice chat while I'm playing it because it'd be too distracting. But we could always like do parallels or something.
Yeah.
Some of the time.
I'm probably gonna do 100% quests. If you're not, because like.
Probably not.
It's a point of pride. But I beat it with 100% quests the first time, because in the first half of the game that you cannot repeat 51% of the quests, and people think it's 50, and they skip one that's really dumb and pointless and just there to make people mad. You have to enter the portside town like 3 times and talk to this dude 3 times, and then you have to buy a thing off of him, and then you get 51%. It's just like, oh, that's so mean. I love it.
Like, in the abstract, I love how spectacularly mean Drakenverse games are, but, like, I'm very glad this is the only one we're going to play.
Mm-hmm. It's the most JRPG of them.
Yeah. Because
I think Drakengard and Drakengard 2 are a little too muso.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a partial LP of Drakengard, and that is the most unpleasant game to look at that I've maybe ever seen.
It don't get much better to play.
Yeah, well, that was the impression I got. Like, I can kind of see, you know, in some ways it's much more committed to being what it is than like almost any combat-centric game. But
I have no idea how it could have got a sequel. Like, it is so fucking bad and rude to the player. But it got a sequel, and then the spin-off into Nier, and then another prequel, and now Nier is gonna get a sequel by fucking Platinum. So what the fuck is wrong with the world, really? I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah. I think it's probably a good thing, overall. I say that without knowing how the sequel's going to turn out. But
Drakengard 2 is, well, Nier, I will say, is pretty good. It's basically a Zelda game with a bullet hell feature. Mm-hmm. I really hope you're gonna get used to aiming with a fucking. I hope you're good at aiming with the analog stick, because there's no lock on.
Oh god. No, I'm not good at aiming with the analog stick at all. I've been doing my early prep for Valkyria Chronicles, and in that, like, because you need to headshot everything for the speedrun, like, I'm basically a casual player as well. The lock-on only takes you to a body shot, and then you've got to do the repositioning, and there's a slight snap to as well.
Yeah.
So it's a snap to the body, not the head. So you have to really kind of shove the stick to get it off the body and onto the head. But then it's going to be a really short shove because the distance between body and head isn't very far.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you're trying to go fast.
Yep.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Oh my god. That reminds me that, I still haven't beaten Valkyria Chronicles just because it's like way more tactics shooter than it is an RPG. For me. And I just don't get along with either of those in long sessions, and then I just kind of get burned out on playing it in general. But I beat the first giant tank you have to fight, the Maximilian Desert thing.
Yeah, the Batamus, the mission 7, which I'm like, that's the next one I've got to learn, and I've stalled on actually doing anything about it because I don't want to do that mission again. The first time I did that, it took me 4 hours.
I got an A on that my first time because I used kind of speedrun strats and also just didn't give a shit.
Nice.
It was really nice, and then I was like, okay, I don't actually want to play the rest of this game.
Yeah.
So I uninstalled it. Like, it's really draining. Ugh.
Yeah. The weird thing is, like, for all that the Batimus, that mission in the speedrun is one of the most kind of radical strats, that mission is actually, the reason it's got such a radical strat, that's one of the most robust missions in the game. Like, most of the missions, you can just run past everything.
Yep. It's robust in its enforcement of objectives, at least.
Yeah. Whereas, like, you know, the first 6 missions, the enemy only gets 3 turns total in 6 missions, and 2 of those are just because you have to wait for the tank, your own tank, to show up. But I'm looking forward to it though, particularly for doing the strat for the mission that I got stuck on towards the end of the game, because the mission that I got
stuck. Is it
the
one with the tank and the scout that you have to? Because that seems like it would be a sticking point where you have to take out a tank with a scout.
No, it is a tank. It's a but it's like,
I remember there were like really tight urban corridors, and the speedrun made it look like a real, like they just blasted through that, and I was like, wow, I'm probably never gonna get this far, and also it looks like a pain.
The game's definitely a pain. Like, there are a few like that, but the one in particular that I'm thinking of, like, it's the last actually kind of pitched battle rather than gimmicky set piece level, and the objective is destroy this heavily armoured tank, for which, if you're doing it casually, you have to like, fight your way through an absolute horde of enemies, and they have 3 bases from which they can spawn new units, and it's really hard to get a foothold in the level. And the speedrun strat is you charge a shock trooper up to the tank and machine gun it to death, because you've focused all your upgrades onto the machine gun damage tree.
Yeah, I remember that strat. I was just like, oh, okay, that does not seem like it should work, but here we are.
It's amazing. I love it to bits. I mean, I spent like a morning trying to beat that level and just getting nowhere. So that one's going to be satisfying when I get to it. I still haven't seen any of the cutscenes past that point. Don't death me, bro. You deathed me, bro. But it was only Ryu. But I want to make sure to do my resurrecting in battle, because I'm sure... Where are we? I suppose I can just use resurrect. What's the difference? I'm going to use
his full health and also 100%. So.
Yeah, I'm going to use that because I'm pretty sure that, like, last time I had to res someone, it took 4 attempts with Raise Dead.
I fucking hate Raise Dead in this.
It's... yeah. Oh good, the one that's death cast happy ran out of AP.
So you're gonna come to, like... There's, like, I've been spacing on the streams because I was eating breakfast, but,
It's fair.
There's gonna be, like, a room where it's just stairs down to another set of stairs, and you have to go through, like, I don't know, fucking 8 or 9 of those rooms, but those are basically the last thing before the midpoint. So.
Okay. I think I've skipped most of a room, without even counting all the Sten stuff that I've skipped, because I don't have Sten in my party. Which is the dumbest fucking thing, to have character exclusive areas for one character specifically in the final dungeon of the game.
Yeah, I think like the very first zone, like you walk in and there's a Sten thing, it's just a shortcut.
Yeah,
so it's not,
in the first one,
like...
but in the second or third room there's an area you cannot get to without Sten, with the chest in it. So I shall look that up later and be salty about it if it's not a Sten item.
Let me... So I think... No, this is the wrong one. I want to use the other one because that's meant for the retranslation. Oh, it picks up a... Oh, fuck, that's actually really bad.
Oh?
It's a weapon for Bush. It's a Buster Bow.
God dang it.
Yeah. Because this guide was like, hey, you should probably bring Sten with you because there's a couple items. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll train Sten up enough to not get slaughtered.
He levels fast, at least.
Yeah.
I should have healed Ryu this turn. God damn it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, like the next stairs you go into are gonna be the repeating staircase room. And once you get out of them, I'm gonna say go east.
Okay.
Because I don't think you need a soul shield or a sun mask. I think you've got
definitely don't need a sun mask.
Yeah, soul shield is like the highest. Is like what you can buy from
Beretta.
So if you've got that, you're good. You're good, and you don't need to take the west or the south fork.
Cool.
I do appreciate that one of the that aside from the Kaiser Fist, Rand has an item in this dungeon called the Final Blow.
That's pretty good.
It's really good.
Don't attack Ryu. God fucking damn it, you attacked Ryu. But he dodged. It's fine. It's alright, Ryu's the only one I don't mind if he dies occasionally, because he won't lose Shaman buffs.
He can't fuse. Yeah. That's really... that's a really worrying state of affairs, honestly.
Yeah. I'm just safe scumming.
Yeah.
Although saying that,
I was doing that too.
Haven't had to reload yet.
Yep.
What point is restore?
This entire dungeon was... I think this dungeon went a lot faster for me than it probably will for you because I could just auto through everything and I had the speed up button that I could just hold down and just go, yep, I'm done with this battle, and then vitalize after every fight. Vitalize, it's a really good spell and it's a shame you get it so late.
Yeah,
I mean, I know why you get it so late is because they want you to burn with your AP with everything else that you can do with healing. But
it's only actually an efficiency increase once you're getting the full value of it on 3 characters.
I mean, if you're getting more than 100 on 3 characters, yeah, or 100 or more, because that's 21 AP.
Yeah. And I do like the game kind of being structured in a way to actually get you doing that maths and keeping the numbers small enough that you can.
Yeah.
Like it's very
it's very old school Dragon Quest.
Yeah, but it's very economically clear as well. mean, in Lost Odyssey, you can basically divide every number by 10, and you'd still have functionally the same game. To say nothing of Eternal Sonata, where you could divide every number by 100 and you'd still have the same game, it would still suck.
Yeah, does sound like Eternal Sonata.
It's a bad game.
I'm still gonna buy the 360 version if I buy that game, because the PS3 does not have like anything that I want, and also there's a lot more leniency on garbage, like taking pictures of things. The fucking speedrunner, they were just like, we're gonna take this really shitty photo like 4 times, and then we're gonna sell them all for like 11,000 each at the very start of the game. It's like, okay, that's wrong. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the 360 version is at least bland rather than offensively difficult.
We need to make this game more difficult. Let's reduce all the EXP values.
It's such a pain in the ass. I'm so glad I'm done with that game.
Yeah.
And the only other big one that I really think is going to be a chore is Star Ocean 4. Even The Last Remnant, I think, is going to be interesting, even if it is 60 fucking hours long.
Yeah. Fucking Last Remnant is a pseudo-tactical RPG where you put together giant squads and play rock, paper, scissors with other giant squads.
Yeah.
And also, the main character is named Rush Sykes. It's oh my god.
I mean, what's the guy in SO4 called? I can't remember now. He's got a stupid
Edge
name.
Maverick?
Oh, that's right. Oh, I love JRPGs. I love them so much.
Star Ocean 3 is Fate Line God.
Oh, yeah. Which, thinking about it, is probably supposed to be Rheingold, as in the Wagnerian opera.
Well, I mean, his father is a famous authority on genetics. I wouldn't be surprised if there's supposed to be like, oh, eugenics nonsense going on.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's not speculate too much on Star Ocean 3.
Oh my god, I just realized, fucking Tri-8. So, Radiata Stories, the even more not Tales game from Tri-Ace, the protagonist is named Jack Russell. So, that's amazing, but also he gains a Fate Line God costume, and he shares Fate's victory pose.
Wow. That is some lazy ass design. Oh man.
Oh my god.
How did Bosch become so fast?
He seriously has just always been fast, but also he got a shit ton of stat from being Terminator Dog.
I guess. I would have expected that to be like kind of strength and endurance rather than speed, though, I guess. It doesn't look like a lightweight affair.
I mean, like, powered armor usually also has, like, actuators for movement.
True.
I don't know how they fucking did that with just, like, fusing him with shamans, but...
Let's not speculate. I mean, it's... like, it's too much fun to speculate on the logic of. That's the thing. Like, Lost Odyssey...
it's just like, okay, let's just go with this fucking thing. Yeah, this is an armadillo man. Now he's a tiny, pointy armadillo man with a tail. This is a dog with a bow. Now he's a robot dog with a gun. Okay.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing, though.
This is a lady with black wings who can cast magic. Now she's a fairy queen. Like, okay, let's go.
Pretty much. I mean, like, a game like Lost Odyssey that is super po-faced all the time, you end up picking apart the logic of it, and believe me, that game's, like, on a kind of lore level, nothing about that game works at all. But here, like, just let me have the cartoony stuff. It's too much fun. Let me have the dog Turbinator and, like, whatever the hell Rand is now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just call him, like, a Rhino Armadillo or whatever. Oh, yeah, Lynn's, like, only transformation. Like, she can only combine with one shaman, and it's Sin. And she turns into, like, this ghoul, and it's really cool, but also I didn't want to use her.
Yeah.
And also she threw off the balance of having more than one, like... like, if you want to have 3 party members with 2 shamans on them, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, like, if you have one character with 1, because that's all they can do... Eh.
Yeah. Leaving a shaman on the bench at the final dungeon doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah. No, it also doesn't feel quite right, but they do it anyway. Like, there's the final room with the healing spree and the save right before the final boss. And you can go back and, like, there's this black room that has a bunch of darkness in it. And if you go specific points with Lynn, you can break a rock and get to a room with a chest that has a thing that makes your character immune to death.
Huh.
And I didn't do that because I was like, okay, whatever, why would I be preparing? This guy just telling me to go, like, fight stuff for his best weapon, but also I could just fight the final boss now, why would I go do that? Especially since it's basically just a kind of weaker version of the boss I had just fought. So,
Oh, that's good to know.
if you can handle the second to last boss, you can definitely handle the last boss.
Cool. I must be nearly at the bottom of these fucking stairs by now. So many of these environments are clearly designed to be awkward to D-pad navigate around as well.
Yeah.
Like, all these areas have cut-in corners, so you can't just go round the corner. You have to go round the corner, wiggle, and then go round the corner.
Yep.
Which I kind of understand why Capcom might have done that back in the day, but it's really annoying now. Particularly with an Xbox D-pad. A slightly wonky Xbox D-pad that I should really get another 360 pad. But never mind.
Yeah, I've been using the analog stick, so... I was thinking about picking up, like, I don't know if I'm gonna go through with it, but I was thinking about picking up like one of those USB SNES controllers. Because they're like $10. And I do have a decent amount of stuff I want to play on SNES.
Yeah. Oh wow, I have found... You said go east here, not west.
Yeah. Yeah, west leads to items you already have and won't be able to use, and east is the way forward.
And I even managed to remember which way east was.
Hey.
I have a lifelong glitch in my brain for getting east and west the wrong way around. I'm convinced instinctively convinced that America is east of here. Which is like one of these.
Technically true, but only because of the world being round.
Undying Ring.
Yep, it's better than the Amber Ring.
But it's... Yes. You can stay there because I don't have Nina with me. So, would not really be terribly useful. Where does that put me level-wise? 100 and 80, 194 divided by 4, 200 be 50, 49, no, 48 and a half, that's okay.
Also, I was kind of disappointed by the final boss because I didn't get to spam infinite Kaiser Dragons like I thought I would get to, but I appreciate what the game did anyway, so I don't know if you're gonna get there today, especially because I realized that yeah, the dungeon is kind of long. This big guy is weak to death.
I love this sprite. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The first time it showed up,
a recolor of it in the second.
Of course.
Half of the dungeon.
It's really good though. It's like that's a cool idea for something you can do with sprite art in a game. Fucking giant demon emerging from the floor.
They had to do it that way because they couldn't actually get the full sprite on screen. And
Pretty much.
That's a cute workaround.
Also, it's very reminiscent of, well, reminiscent, I suppose that's anachronistic. There's a famous WoW boss that's basically like that. What the fuck is Shadow Stitch?
Ian gets a dagger for Sten?
Oh, okay. Dragon!
Yep, there are dragons.
Evil dragons, even.
Yeah?
I suppose it has to specify that they're evil, because we're like good dragon people.
Yep. The Dragon Brood. I kind of want to play Breath of Fire 3. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Breath of Fire 1, because it's just kind of like, okay, it's probably this, but even more Dragon Quest, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to... I mean, Leroy really enjoyed it, apparently, or at least the music, but...
I love it when I counter both halves of a combo attack. That's the most satisfying thing. Like,
Yeah.
fuck all y'all.
I think one time I got a double counter on one of those, and they were both criticals, so I killed the monster immediately.
Nice!
And I was just like, oh.
That worked out well for you, didn't it?
Battle. Yeah.
Fucking combo attack.
Combo attacks are the fucking worst. Like, it's... Ugh. Like, I guess it's there to divide up the damage they would normally do, so that if you counter them, they don't get, and kill them, they don't get the second one off.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of awkward in general, because that rarely happens.
Yeah. I don't want to be too down on combo as a concept though, because it completely breaks Lost Odyssey and therefore made the final boss far more manageable.
I mean, I'm not saying in general, I just mean in this.
Yeah.
Specifically, because each of the hits usually does as much damage as anything else in the area would do in one hit.
Yep.
So it's just kind of like, I'm gonna go get a refill on coffee real quick.
Okay. Oh my god, this level. Oh, it's these fuckers. Fuck you! Ow.
Greetings.
Welcome back.
I'm going to, instead of not doing anything like I was, I'm going to play Drakengard, do some grinding, these stupid weapons.
Yep.
It's pretty harsh. I think I can pull up like a guide on this. But like the stat fall off is real bad. Like you gotta kill at least like 200 dudes with these weapons before they get useful. Okay, like the mandatory weapon. Let's look at Kaim's sword. Or not.
Oh yeah, I
that's not
forgot.
what
I
it is.
forgot that he was Kaim in that as well.
Yeah. Kaim the Mute Murderer.
I mean, Kaim in
Okay,
Lost
it's-
Odyssey is not much different. He can speak, but he doesn't do so very often.
Yeah.
Like
I
even
mean,
in the
like,
happy ending, he barely says anything and
Yeah.
shows basically no emotion. I got really annoyed. It's like, that's the wrong way.
That, like, yeah. That's, okay, so basically, like, one of the first weapons you get that's not that's not Kaim's sword, is Scald Song, and the attack strength at level 1 is 4 damage, and at level 2 it is 10.
Huh.
So, and like, if you want to, oh my god, like a lot of, oh, there, I forgot there's a weapon called Slaughterism. That's
Dang.
incredible. I forgot about that. But yeah, basically, if you want your weapons to do fucking anything, you gotta kill a lot of stuff with them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the weapons that you want to use are like, they're really late in the game anyway. Oh man, I forgot about Moonfire. It is a sword made of granite.
That sounds like a bad idea. Just from a usability perspective.
But yeah, it's I really like the weapon story feature of like all the Drakenverse stuff. Like I really hope Automata doesn't lose those because damn.
Yeah.
Moonfire. This sword is forged of a granite that burns red with eternal heat. Only those who enjoy the protection of the moon god, ruler of the cool night, may dare grasp the handle. Legend tells of a great warrior who carried the sword into battle. Roaring a battle cry, he charged into the fray where 100 enemies archers struck him through with 1,000 arrows. Yet not a drop of blood flowed from his wounds, and though arrows pierced his heart, his strength failed him not. His army was the victor that day. With the battle won, the warrior returned to camp, but in the instant he laid down his sword, he froze as cold and as still as ice. The protection of the moon god had finally claimed his life.
Huh. Oh my god, does this room never end?
Once you go down to the left and go down all those stairs, you'll come to the midpoint. So.
Cool.
And I really would recommend busting out a guide for the second half.
Oh? Does it get fucky?
It has a lot of dead ends,
Okay.
and you really don't want to go into those. There's stuff like, oh, if you go to this fork, if you go south, that's progress, but if you go east, there's a free healing spring.
Ah.
Just like just out of nowhere. So I don't need spelled song. That's it. But sure. The thing that bothers me about Dragon Guard 2 and why I kind of didn't want to play it is that basically you have to, for the true, like the multiple endings you can get, you have to play through the entire game again. And
Yikes.
To get the third ending, you have to have all the weapons, because that's like a traditional Kotaro thing to do. But like you can't chapter select or anything, so if you miss it, and it auto saves, so if you miss something, you have to replay through the entire game again.
Yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit too Drakengard.
Because it's Dragon Guard 2. I get it.
That wasn't actually. Hadn't occurred to me, but yeah, okay, it works.
Oh my god, this magic is really good. Like, kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm invincible now. It says invisible, but I'm invincible. And also I do more damage with this tiny ass sword. Oh my god. The funny thing is, even when they're like really tiny daggers, he still wields it like a longsword with two hands.
Love it.
This is really goofy. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fucking Rush Sykes from Last Remnant is like Kaim if he was an anime protagonist and not a rampaging murderer. Like, I've compared the designs before, but also it's really silly. The good thing about grinding like this is it also levels Kaim up and he gets more HP.
Helpful.
So I'll be able to take more hits from more stupid bosses I'm gonna have to fight. Also, playing on easy is the best idea because everything drops health a lot more often. But there are some weapons you can only get on normal because they knew. They knew! Kavi is fucking mean. Oh, I was also gonna bring up that, like, Nier has 100%, like, you can get 100% quest completion, but there's no trophy for it because it's so mean.
Oh wow. This room is a bit weird. This room at the bottom of the stairs.
Yep, just go straight south.
I genuinely thought something had misloaded.
Nope. It is working entirely as intended. And this room is where I did some grinding once I got to the town past this room and had a free healing spot. Oh right, I forgot that to get this weapon, the Sword Smasher, you have to go into a top-down level, and you just have to fucking run northwest for like 30 seconds. It's not in the direction of the objective. You just gotta fucking run northwest away from the objective for a solid 30-35 seconds, and you'll get there. It's really mean. This game is the worst.
And I like that you're talking about Drakengard being bad.
And Dragnir.
Yeah, let's Dragnir. Let's not Dragnir. There's some time.
I hope we don't Dragnir. It's pretty good. It's
wow, my
better
party
than this.
looked kind of spectacularly weird from behind because Aspara's hair just from behind looks like a toadstool.
Yep.
Miria, the goddess of destruction. Okay.
I believe this is a not Dragon Quest. I was gonna say Dragon Quest. Breath of Fire 1 thing.
Uh-huh.
I should not have actually named the episode Dragon's Quest because now I'm gonna fuck that up. I literally, legitimately said Dragon Quest about this fucking game. Oh my god.
This is not the most pleasant heartbeat sound to have pulsing gently in my ear.
Yeah, I was a little uncomfortable with it, and it just kept going.
Death Evan.
Yep.
They tried. Why are we suddenly talking about this giant tower? Why are we suddenly looking at this giant tower but not talking about it even? It's a very cool visual, but what?
I'm pretty sure that's what you just climbed down.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah, so it's the Abyss Tower in this translation, but you did just climb down the first part of Infinity.
Okie doke.
I think Abyss Tower is better in general, but Infinity is so much more JRPG.
Yeah. Ah, so this is my grandfather, I see. What? Oh, now I am playing as Hugh's mother. Oh no, I made a tiny child cry. Also, why did Dragon Brood's houses have no furniture?
No idea.
Right. Where do I go?
You have to talk to everyone in the town and then go back into the room you were in as Ryu.
Oh, okay. Ah. Oh, so that's what the fucking glowing stones are.
Yep. Yep, it's not just a UI element, it's a thing that Ryu has.
I love that. The first person you meet, hey, you have wings. You really must be not from around here. It's like, not. Ah, what a freak. I could not guess at precisely what was lurking behind the god whose name is the same same 3 letters as the first 3 letters of the evil demon that I'm here to stop. Whoops. Oops. Also, that's an underwhelming dragon sound.
I do not understand the jump button.
In
There
Dragon
are
Guard.
changes. Yeah, there are changes in elevation, but you are not allowed to surpass them by jumping.
Ah.
Also, dodging things with jumping is not as good as just dodge rolling out of the way. Do not understand. What are you barking at, Sammy? Good gosh.
There they go again. Anyway,
It's just the one.
I think I'm gonna call it there for tonight, actually, because it's been almost 2 hours already, and
You're
it is.
gonna need to grind.
I don't think I'm going to need to grind, but I think...
You're probably going to want to, but also it's getting kind of late.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take more than like another half hour or so to finish this. So.
Yeah. If the first half is basically on pace, but also there's some story stuff you got to go through before you go through the dungeon proper. So
yeah. So till tomorrow then.
Yep.